we're going to head over to Talkington School for Young Women Leaders, where Principal Dr. Longoria recently shared her personal education journey and how she overcame many obstacles with a group of lady warriors who are getting closer and closer to graduation. Let's listen in.
So I'm going to share a story today about how I went from a first-generation graduate to doctor. And I was the first person to graduate college in my family. I was also the first to graduate high school from some of my siblings. So the main thing for me, it began with, I knew I wanted something different because my home life wasn't what I wanted to continue. So I knew I wanted something different. I didn't know what that looked like. I just knew I wanted something different for my future and my family. So sometimes it's okay not to know how you're going to get there. It's just to know that you want something different, or you know your why. So I started college very scared, not knowing how I was going to do it. I didn't have the background or the experiences that you have and that Talkington provides for you. I just knew I was ready to do something to make a change for my life. I also had a daughter at the time, so she was my big motivation to do it. And I would think, I'm going to do this for you. So sometimes when you find yourself not knowing how you're going to do it, it's okay. I want you to know that. You just take small steps in the right direction. Just take it a day at a time, a class at a time, sometimes a week at a time. And something else that I learned too was not only to just take the small steps and focus on one thing at a time, was to really be mindful of my self-talk. Because you'll have a lot of people that will tell you you can't do it. And maybe sometimes that's family members. For me, it was some family members too. Why do you even want to do this? And so I had to learn that the thoughts that I told myself were very, very powerful. There were times I didn't know how I was going to do it. I didn't even feel that I could do it. I sure wasn't confident. Yet I kept remembering, I want something different. So the self-talk that you tell yourself becomes so important. And you also have to embrace the uncertainty and the unknown of what you're entering. So I just had to take the small steps, ask for help, take it slow, and know that my thoughts were super, super important. So anytime a thought entered my mind, you can't do this, I would change it immediately with, yes, I can. So I finished and got my bachelor's degree, and then started teaching. Then years later, I thought, I'm going to see about getting a master's degree. Which, good news, a master's degree is a lot easier, in my opinion, than a bachelor's degree. Never would I thought I would have gotten a bachelor's degree. And I enjoyed it. So then I'm working again in a school setting, and people had told me for a long time, oh, you should be a principal, you should be a principal. I was like, no, I should not be a principal. I like the curriculum, I like what I'm doing. So I made a phone call to WT in Canyon to find out about a principal certification, because my master's was in curriculum. I really enjoyed the lesson planning and working with teachers and learning about curriculum and best teaching practices. So I made a phone call. She said, we have an inaugural program at WT, the first ever doctoral program in education, and it sounds like you'd be a good candidate. And I thought, what? Who, me? Okay. Filled out the application, which was quite a rigorous process. Again, I thought, I don't even know how to fill out this application. I asked questions. I asked for help. I took small steps in the right direction. Turned into my application, thought, well, what's meant to be will be. And I was accepted into an inaugural doctoral program. I could not believe it. And I believe that those doors, though, that opened for me, one of those was to be here at Talkington with you. Because if you'd ever told me, when I had siblings that didn't even graduate from high school, that I would be a principal, I wouldn't have believed it. Yet you all inspire me every day. You still inspire me every day to continue to grow and continue to learn and to be better. Because I watch you. I watch how hard you work and you study, and it means so much to you that every day I'm excited to come here because of you. So I just want to remind you, figure out what you want. If you want something different, that's all you have to know. Maybe you don't know what it is yet. Just take a small step in the right direction. Listen to that self-talk. It's so important when others tell you you can't, or you yourself believe that you can't. You shift that thought immediately. And then again, go back to it. Take another small little step. Take it a day at a time, a week at a time, a class at a time, a semester at a time. And then celebrate your small victories and also allow yourself to take breaks. After you put in all that hard work, give yourself a little bit of time to take a break. Maybe that's reading a book, maybe it's taking a nap. I know all of you probably need a nap. You work so hard. And go ahead and get comfortable not knowing, and be comfortable at times that you're not going to have all of the answers, and get comfortable with, okay, this feels scary and I don't know how I'm going to do it. It's okay. In fact, most of the time, if you're scared, it means it's important and it means it's a really great thing that you're going to do. Sometimes you got to take a breath. Just take it one step at a time, and you can do it too. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you, Dr. Longoria, for sharing your story with Lady Warriors and letting our team spread your message across Lubbock ISD.